Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Mashinsky, your editor at Phenom Crypto Letter, coming to you this weekend with a couple of ideas to throw your way. I think there's some good opportunities that are rearing their head in this choppy sort of market. We're seeing again Bitcoin teasing us, moving up into the low 70,000s. Um, you know, ETH has had a nice catch-up play going into the ETF seeming approval over the last 2 weeks, going into an approval process. It looks like that I think caught some of us by surprise because we were not all that confident that the SEC was going to allow this to go through at this time. And it looks like it shall. How much demand we're going to see for the ETH ETF versus Bitcoin is yet to be seen. I'm guessing it is not going to be as robust, at least not initially. Then what is the next one? I don't care. Let's talk about crypto, buying crypto in crypto, not ETFs. And most of you that are here have the ability to buy on exchanges or DeFi or what have you. The first thing I'm going to talk about today is, well, first of all, let me just say this. I am going to give you two futures trades if you are sophisticated enough and you are comfortable enough with using leverage. Now, MEXC is my preferred exchange. I'll put a link here in case you want to do it. It is not my MO to get people that are listening to me for any sort of a research filter or what have you to do much, if anything, on leverage. I've wiped myself out on leverage numerous times in the past when I was coming up, in the stock market as a broker and things. And these days, my leverage that I use is very limited. It's temporary and or very limited. In fact, in my equity portfolios, it is very rare that I will even go beyond cash positions, and maybe it'll be like a couple of percent of my investable assets that go on margin for like a swing trade. But in crypto, we have had good success, especially from time to time, but fairly regularly in the premium service. Like, just for example, I'll post it in here. Sorry for the weird lighting, sunset time here in the Midwest. Um, we just banked, I think it was about 200% on Wormhole. That was a few week hold, maybe 2 weeks, and then a quick turnaround on Stacks that was mentioned last weekend, and that was under $1. We were able to sell it, for essentially it was 220% net. I think I'll put my sticker on these, because if you do a transaction on MEXC, you can actually prove it because they give you an image that shows your account end number and what the total is that you took on the trade. Wormhole, I think, is on my laptop that I just left in Chicago. So I don't know if that goes over to laptop to laptop. Anyway, the Stacks one, I just saw it on my computer, and I'll throw it on there. So for free email, subscribers, e-letter subscribers, I I also want to focus, just like I do in premium, on more, longer term core holdings, long term investments, own them in cash. What do you want in terms of chopping it up between BTC, ETH, mid caps, and then rounding it out with some of the ones that could be the big flyers. But I'm very reluctant whenever we have, most people that are just like, what's the next 100 bagger? People that were around, with me back in 2021, excuse me, in that bull market and before that, saw that we had a number of multi-hundred times our money coins. And I'm going for that again, no doubt about it. I just don't want to focus only on those. So for those of you that are newer, I still recommend two-thirds or so, at least half of your portfolio in crypto should be focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And probably something to the effect of two-thirds Bitcoin, one-third Ethereum. Um, Maybe you could do half and half. But I also am a big fan of Solana, and Solana's been getting hit here just recently. So that is one that I am long right now. I can't use maybe I can here on Solana on this screen. You can see with MEXC, how many do I have now? 1,300 Solana. I'm long 10,000 Filecoin. So not a super robust futures trading account. I liquidated the wormhole, the stacks, and I'm just being patient because I think that we're going to see these whipsaws, excuse me, that we're seeing around this Bitcoin pop and then pulling back. I think it's actually potentially a sign of a rip to come. We are going to rip higher. The thing that I've been mentioning lately is that I don't know if the immediate term, the short term move next is going to be a flush that is very, very strong to shake the trees out. Let me see if I've got this chart here. Oh, that one is upstairs, but the shaking of the trees is what we call it. That's what people on Wall Street call it when, say you have a large group of buyers that want to come into a name. What they'll do initially is knock it down, try to scare stock out before you run it. I feel like that's a bit of what has been going on with Bitcoin, recently, and it's not quite ready yet, but I think the days are very near. Once BTC goes through those recent highs, which I think was around 74,000, it's going to be game on again. My impression is that the longer we see this range of like 72 to 60, and we go in between there, the better. That's going to mean that there's more of a base built for ultimately a higher price point versus just going parabola right now, which it could. Next move, the next big move in Bitcoin is going to be parabolic. It's going to start a parabolic move that will last, you know, 3 to 6 to 9 months and essentially parabolic. And along the way, there will be one or two very violent shakeouts. So this isn't going to be easy, guys, but we do know, I think, with confidence that everything is lined up for this Bitcoin and crypto summer and fall, if you will, to be right ahead of us. I'm going to get out of this sun here a little bit. Forgive me. That's a little bit too dark, but whatever, a little better. So anyway, what I'm going to recommend today also, I know a lot of people love to mess with the meme tokens. And in premium, I had mentioned back in, I don't know exactly when it was, maybe it was the fourth quarter or early in Q1 this year when the memes really started to heat up and I was early and I put some money into Bonk and Whiff, Dog with Hat. And, admittedly, I don't hold those super long term, but I made a good amount on a trade, highlighted those on a trade. There's a lot of people in our premium service that are long-term clients of mine and investors from the gold investment letter. They're stock investors. This is all new to them. And just like anybody who's newer, if you're not, under the age of 35, where digital assets are just like a normal thing, the meme culture and the meme scenario is like just wacky. It's just like insane to people. I think it is to a degree, but it's also a very real thing that is going to continue with the maturing of digital asset value transfer and value transfer in general. So here's what I'm going to do to keep this brief. I've got one meme token for you. One meme token that I'll make a picture of it. I'm going to send this in the beginning of the email, and you guys can determine if you want to take a flyer. Now, this is one that is not on any centralized exchanges yet. It shows up being on MEXC, on Coin Market Cap, but I don't see any volume there, and it doesn't pick up on there. So what you would want to use, what I use to build my position so far, is MetaMask and Uniswap. So DeFi, true DeFi. You just have to send Ethereum or Tether or whatever. If you buy it, if you put your fiat money onto an exchange and you buy, say, Ethereum or Tether, with it, you just send from that wallet over to the wallet on Uniswap or MetaMask. You send your Ethereum, and you're able to swap for other tokens, and they just charge a modest fee. But I've got, normally if I'm going to put something into something just like a complete flyer, like ridiculous, and even stuff that I think have utility and network growth and tokenomics look really good, I'll start off, especially with small amounts of due diligence, not like doing a deep dive. I put like 3 to 6 grand or something in those scenarios. Uh, Bogdanov, BOG, not to be mistaken with, there's like a couple of other weird things that have that simple symbol, but it's Bogdanov, BOG, DANOFF, and it's based on the Bogdanov twins. That if you are an OG in crypto, you realize that one of the first memes that really took off was this, sort of meme of a photo of these guys that had like all this plastic surgery and kind of looked a little strange. They're dead now. Rest in peace. But they're on the phone, like an old phone, and the memes would say pump it or oh, they bought, dump it. And it's just funny. If you're going to do something in meme culture, you want to do something that is like up your alley with humor or whatever, because a lot of these have no utility. What will probably happen is that a lot of these are attracting so much capital, like Doge, 20 some billion-dollar market cap, even Bonk, Dog with Hat. They're going to develop utility later because they have the audience. But something like a Bogdanov, this somebody whipped this up, put it up. The reason I like it is because a lot of the big money OGs of crypto, I think as the meme, sector continues to do things, there are many of us that will like throw in a few grand or something for Bogdanov because it's like, I even tweeted on at Phenom Investors is my Twitter for crypto. I put like, is it even possible that Bogdanov is not going to be, BOG is not going to be the king of memes? And it has like a 2 million minus $2 million market cap. It's trading at, I don't even know how many zeros. I think it's like 8 zeros. And it's like basically if you took the zeros down to like 1 zero before the decimal point, it's like less than 2 cents, if you would call it that. It's like 0.00002. If you could buy it under 2.5, 2 point or 2.5 at the end, I think, if you want a meme flyer, what happens with these deals is that, you don't, I'd have no interest in buying Bonk or Whiff or Pepe or any of this stuff right now. They're already trading for huge valuations, but something like a Bogdanov could just like catch fire and this thing could go up 50, 100 times. So, or it could go to zero. So that's the thing with the meme tokens. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in something that I think is funny and or is going to have like cult appeal to a degree big enough so that this thing could go to say, I mean, geez, even if it goes to like a $20 million market cap, we make 10 times our money. And I think that'll probably happen as long as this meme, frenzy is still going to a degree through the end of the year. BOG, that's my meme pick. Okay. Just for fun, nothing crazy. Don't put your mortgage and life savings on it. But if you have the ability to buy some on Uniswap or MetaMask, I've got like 16 or 17 grand in there. It's a much bigger position than I normally would put. I've just continued to buy it. So I'll probably cap myself at like 20, 25,000, but if it goes to zero, I'll still be able to eat and have a home. So that'll be okay. Solana right now, like I showed you on Mexi futures, I usually, if I am going to trade futures, it's 10x leverage and you're doing isolated swaps. What that means is that you can only lose what you put in. So if you put a couple of grand in, but you buy almost $20,000 worth of Solana, it goes down. You'll see the entry price, the fair price, which is what it is today right now, and then the liquidation price, where if it touches that, your 2 grand is gone. I'm okay with that from time to time, and I think that Solana is making this really nice bull flag, actually. And this is the bottom of the channel, so I'm buying that. Filecoin, I'm not even going to officially recommend you right now, but I'm going to say BOG is my meme token pick. SOL, is my isolated levered futures pick for a trade. And as far as a small cap AI, not even an AI, it's not AI, it's ordinals that I've mentioned, I think to free members before, it's down a lot from when I started buying it myself and then premium members came in. It's Ordis Swap, ORDS. And let me just pull up this chart. It's been the AI and the ordinals plays have really gotten smashed in the last month. So I love AI plays. We've got several in premium. If you're interested in joining premium, you're going to get a handful of AI micro caps that I think are going to crush. But ORDS, when I initially got in earlier this year, it was like 8, 9, 10 cents. It exploded to 28, and now it's ground down all the way back to 5 cents. If you could buy that one under 7, ORDS, it's a very intriguing ordinals play, and I think this is probably right around the low. So that's one for you guys just to check out on your own, do your own diligence. But that's one that I like that we cover in premium, and I own over 1 million of those tokens, and I'm down probably at least 25 to 30%. So you can buy in cheaper than myself. Last thing I'm going to say. So we're here to make money. I mean, period, right? You're here to get ideas and things, hoping that, I can find certain stuff that is going to perform well in the market in crypto. Many of us come from a background of the stock market. Some of you, especially the younger folks, you might have only started investing and done so vis-a-vis crypto. But for those of you that are in the stock market, I just want to note something. I want to note two things. One is I will post a link. My largest newsletter and longest running one since 2011 is called goldinvestmentletter.com. And I tell people that before tokens and coins and crypto and small alts, where I was shooting for the fences and actually hit a number of them 50, 100, 300, 500 times my money. That market was the junior miners, the ones that are exploring for gold, silver, copper, nickel, trade usually in the Canadian exchange, but you can buy them on the OTC market in the US. High risk reward. But that is actually the area alongside of technology and venture that I'm the most proficient and have had. The reason I was able to stake my crypto portfolio to take advantage of the last bull cycle was from some of the plays that worked out in the junior mining sector that hit 20, 30, 50x. Right now there is an incredible opportunity. Gold recently has gone up to $2,400. Silver just cracked 30. The juniors, the really small companies that are just explorers and not necessarily the producers of these things, they haven't budged. In fact, a lot of them are even lower, and some of them have very large, attractive assets in the ground that have been worked on and drilled and tens or hundreds of millions of dollars spent, and they're trading for like 2 million, 5 million, $10 million market caps. And I believe we're going into a bull cycle there that is going to be very strong. I love having, my assets are pretty close. I think I right now have a bit more in crypto, but very close to it on the mining side and the metals. And, together, those are probably 85 to 90% of my entire net worth is in these two areas. And it's exciting. And there's some exciting deals. And so if you're interested at all in just kind of following some stock plays in a sector that we go everywhere from gold, which Bitcoin was modeled after, and Satoshi tried to improve upon, making it deflationary, to energy. One of the biggest winners we've had is a nuclear energy play called Encore that we got involved in right in late 16, early 17 at a nickel Canadian. And I think today it's trading at like $6. So in any event, one of the things at Consensus that I learned last week, and then I'm going to stop, it is more and more abundant to me that we have a shortage of in-ground metals and assets. And for nuclear energy, you need uranium. We look at all that stuff. And the race for AI, that's why you're seeing Microsoft, Amazon, Google, they're building their own nuclear fusion, fission, excuse me, they're building their own energy sources, and nuclear is going to be a big part of that. But you know what else is going to be a big part of that? I would really encourage you guys to take a look at Phenom, Phenom resources.com. Yes, it's a spin-off sort of brand of my own brand. I am not the owner of the company, but I am the largest shareholder. So just so you know, I've never put as much money into any one investment by far, not even close to what I have in Phenom Resources. If you ever decide that you would like to buy some, because that play has the largest and most exciting and dynamic business and assets in vanadium. Vanadium redox flow batteries, vanadium solid state batteries, these are industrial scale, clean batteries and battery metals to power the pockets of when anything goes down. I believe vanadium is even superior to lithium ion batteries in electrical vehicles. And Phenom is stacked with our story. Top, biggest, highest grade, pure vanadium asset in North America and Nevada at the surface, still growing. We've got a deal with the Tokyo company. We own 5% of that company. They've cracked the code in terms of solid state vanadium industrial scale batteries. The CEO of Phenom has been in Tokyo and watched in their lab while they were able to fully charge an EV powered just by vanadium batteries in 15 seconds. And there's no flammability risk. Then we have another part. If some of you really want to be, what do you call it? Not Spock, but Sherlock, and you want to go ahead and you want to dig into this story, look at a news release from a couple of Fridays ago about the third patent that they filed, which is about processing petroleum coke. There is a connection with mining companies and the opportunities there, and energy that is going to feed data and the AI revolution. And it's a race. So I like to play the whole basket, not to mention the fact that Phenom has 5 assets, 4 of which are world-class exploration assets in Nevada, which Nevada as a state produces more gold per year than any other nation. It is the most prolific area in the world and is the best place to have assets and or mine metals, particularly gold. We have 4 under the biggest legend that I've ever known of in terms of finding new districts, not just new mines, but new districts of mines in gold. Dave Matheson. This thing has been a long time coming. I've been in this for 6.5 years. The stock is at 45 cents Canadian, and that means that's at PHNM. So if you're in Canada or Europe and you can buy a Canadian exchange, you can do that. Or on the OTC in the US, it's PHNMF. And that's trading at about 33 cents. If you can get stock, if you are interested in speculating a bit and rolling with me, I have a lot of stock. So 45 cents Canadian, my cost average is just under 40 cents. And I own over 8% of the company alongside of a billionaire in Toronto named Rob McEwen. And I have a huge position. It's like, almost 10 million shares and warrants in this thing. And we're going for the promised land. And I am of the opinion, the reason I'm even bringing it up right now, it's not a coincidence. I think there's some massive news that is going to be coming that could shake the market like in the next month, and could see this thing take on a life of its own. And then if you already own Phenom Resources, it will split out into Phenom Gold, Phenom Vanadium to enhance the valuations of each company, and you would own a piece of both of those. But anyway, if that's not totally of interest to you, the Gold Investment Letter is a great letter to get ideas in another arena that no matter what kind of madness goes on in the world, we can make a killing. And we have, and I have, and I believe we will again. We just came out of a 3.5 year brutal bear market. You look at crypto winter, that's more severe and quick. The mining space and the metals and commodities are also cyclical, but they're a little bit more slowly painful. We're coming out of that now. It is the time to deploy capital and have some investments in gold, silver, and the mining companies that are looking for them. If you're interested in more of that, just sign up for the free e-letter initially and take a look at Phenom Resources. I'm not going to continue to update that situation here. I'll do it at Gold Investment Letter. But for those of you that are, open to opportunities cross from coins to equities, check it out. And don't forget to take a look at Bogdanov. And on Solana, you also do not have to buy that on leverage. That is a swing trade on top of my long-term portfolio holding. But when it's trading close to 150 on this pullback, I think it's going to be only a short time, days to weeks to just a few months maximum, that we'll be able to buy Solana ever again under 200. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.